It's time for
Tech Tips with Sarah.
Thanks everyone for joining us today. Hi, Sarah. So
Hello.
I've heard a lot about this Power Apps, and I got to be honest with you. I'm a little intimidated by the software. It's so powerful, but I've heard it's super easy to build applications for everyday business reasons. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about how we can build an app that's really quick and easy?
That's a great question. So with Power Apps, obviously the word power is in there, which is why it could be a little intimidating for some. But it really does give you the power to make an application that's going to best serve your purpose. So let's take an example. Maybe I just want to be able to look at my contacts that I work with on a daily basis and a simple interface, maybe access it just on its own on an app on my phone. Uh, just maybe some single purpose that you want to have. You want to keep it simple. And Canvas apps will help you do that. Now you can start basic, and then of course you can expand and make it all sorts of beautiful and add all sorts of functionality to it. But to get started, I think the best way to do this is to work within the Maker portal. So let me take you there for just a second. We'll show you how you can quickly create a Power App and learn about how to add some of that functionality.
Let's do it.
So the first place I'm going to start off with is in make.powerapps.com. Now, if you're in a different environment like a GCC or government community cloud, you're going to use a different URL for this. But I'm just right now in what we call the commercial cloud. So I will use make.powerapps.com. Now, what I'd like to do is I've got my list of contacts that I have in my model-driven app that we've worked with in previous tips, but I want to create an app to strictly work with certain fields on that contact record and be able to see them probably on my phone or just through another screen. So in the make.powerapps.com, you're going to see on your home screen that you can build apps fast. So you can actually start from your existing data. So I can see I've got SharePoint, Excel Online, SQL Server. My data happens to be in Dataverse, my contact data, so I'm just going to start from Dataverse. Now, when I click on this, this is going to start the ability for me to connect to data within my Dataverse environment. So I can actually search for tables that I have in there. You see I've got my accounts. Right here's my contacts, and I can click on Contacts, and in the lower right corner, I'll choose to connect. Now this will load, this will get things ready. Now the great thing about this is it's going to build my Power App for me. It's going to put everything that I need in there to start working with that contact data. So I just did this in a matter of a few clicks. You'll see it's loading. The powers to be are working really hard to build that simple app for me. And immediately I'm in the Power App Studio and I can start customizing this if I want to, or I can see a preview of it. I'm just going to click skip on this screen and show you what the system just did for me. So now I have 3 screens. You can see that I have a browse screen on the left, I have a detail screen, and I have an edit screen. So the browse screen will show me all my contacts. And the great thing here is that I'm actually seeing my live contacts. If I look at my active contacts, I could search for these people. I would find their information within here. This is actually my live data, so I can see what it's looking like. So in this screen, I have a refresh button. It lets me sort. I can add new contacts. I can click on this arrow if I want to browse more. The detail screen lets me see information in kind of a read-only view. If I want to look at a contact address information here or their details, I have the delete, I have the edit option, and then here's what my edit screen looks like. Now, I didn't have to drag or drop any of these fields on here. The system looked at my data and made a best guess as to what I wanted to include. So for example, I can click on this box here. This is an email card. I can see that it's looking at my email address. I've got properties over here where I'm looking at the field. There's all sorts of things. Now, I could spend an hour going through all the functionality here, but how good is this process? How well does it work for us? You're going to see I have a preview option in the upper right corner. I'll choose preview. And what I can do now is I can close my contacts list if I want to. I can mark this as okay. I'll be able to see information on this screen. Let's actually go back to our browse screen and start the preview from here. Now, if I wanted to, I could click on Maureen Bradley. I can see the detail list. I can click the edit. I can edit this contact. I can mark that checkbox. I can go back to my main screen. I can easily navigate. Now, this is an app I could use today, this very moment. If I wanted to, all this next step I need to do is I can click OK. I'll go up to the file and we'll save this as we'll call this my Contacts app. I'll call it Contacts Phone app. I'll save this to my Power Apps. So now it's going to create this. So all this time it's kind of been a preview. Now I'm going to make this available as an app. And if I wanted to, I could share this with other individuals if I want to. But now this app is ready for me to use.
Wow, what was that, 90 seconds? That's so cool.
Hopefully.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for showing us how easy it is to use Power Apps with today's tech tip.
Thank you.
We hope you found this video helpful. If you've got a question for Sarah, please contact her at connect@sarahdelnick.com.